Stop. This is not a video about staying calm. This is not about confidence. This is about becoming unbreakable. Today, we're going to install a mental operating system so cold, so unyielding, that pressure doesn't crush you, it sharpens you. Fear will lose its teeth. Pain will lose its voice. Doubt will die before it can even speak. This is what we call the Iron Will Protocol, and once it's active, hesitation will no longer exist in your life. Because in this world, there are only two kinds of people: those who crumble when pressure hits, and those who become sharper, colder, and deadlier under it. The Iron Will Protocol is not for the naturally confident, it's for the broken, the anxious, the ones who have been crushed before but have decided they will never be broken again. If you follow this, you will stop bending under weight. You will stop asking if you can handle something, because handling it will no longer be a choice. It starts now. Part 1. Break the fragile code. The reason most people shatter under pressure is simple. They were programmed to. From birth, you've been trained to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to wait until it feels right. That is the fragile code, the soft wiring that makes you crack when life presses too hard. The Iron Will Protocol begins with one action: delete the comfort first program. From now on, pressure is no longer a signal to stop. It is the trigger to engage. Every time your mind screams, "I can't take this," you do one thing: step deeper into it. No slow build, no breathing exercises, no pep talk. Just one cold command: advance. You need to teach your nervous system that discomfort is not danger, it's the doorway. And every time you walk through it without hesitation, you overwrite the fragile code with steel logic. From this moment, you don't ask, "Can I handle this?" You ask, "How fast can I move under this weight?" And the answer is always the same: immediately. Part 2. Hardwire the Response. Willpower is a civilian weapon, unreliable, emotional, and short-lived. An operator doesn't rely on willpower, they run on pre-installed responses. The rule is simple: the longer you think, the weaker you get. Pressure is not the time for debate. You don't weigh pros and cons. You don't wait for courage, you execute. The process is straightforward. First, pick your trigger: pressure, doubt, or fear. Second, attach one action to it, a non-negotiable, repeatable move. Third, drill it until the action becomes instinct. For example, fear rises, you step forward. Doubt whispers, you speak first. Pressure spikes, you take control of the room. No pause, no breath, no second thought. Repeat this enough times and your brain will stop treating pressure as a threat. It will treat it as a command. You'll feel the shift. No adrenaline shakes, no inner argument, just movement, fast, cold, precise. At this point, you are no longer trying to be unbreakable. You are simply executing unbreakability. Part 3. Erase the emotional curve. Pressure doesn't just break people when it's heavy, it also breaks them when it's gone. One day they're sharp because the stakes are high, the next they're dull because life feels calm. That's emotional dependency, and in the Iron Will Protocol, it's a fatal flaw. Operators don't rise when it's dramatic and fall when it's quiet. They stay flat, cold, constant. The mission is the same whether it's chaos or silence. The shift is this: remove the link between action and feeling. No more "I'm on fire today." No more "I'm not feeling it right now." Those are emotional spikes, and spikes make you unpredictable. Unpredictability makes you weak. The new standard is simple. You don't work harder when inspired, you don't slow down when bored, you move at the same relentless speed always. When you cut out emotional highs, you also cut out the lows. No crashes, no burnouts, just sustained mechanical output. That's when pressure loses its final weapon against you, because there's nothing to push, nothing to pull. You've erased the emotional curve, and all that's left is the straight line of execution. Part 4. The Unbreakable Feedback Loop. Most people need the world to tell them they're doing well: likes, applause, recognition. That's their fuel, and when the world goes silent, they stall. An operator's fuel source is different. The act itself is the reward. Every time you execute under pressure, you're not waiting for a good job. You're not chasing numbers, compliments, or validation. You're chasing one thing: protocol completion. Once the loop is installed, the cycle looks like this. Pressure hits, automatic execution, silent reset, ready for the next strike. No pause to celebrate, no dip into self-doubt. You finish and the only thought is, what's next? This is where you become dangerous because you are no longer tied to the world's feedback. It can cheer, it can boo, it can vanish entirely, but you still move. Quiet, consistent, relentless. The world cannot starve you out because your fuel is infinite. And that fuel is the loop itself. Part 5. The Infinite Battlefield. Most people think pressure ends. They wait for the finish line, the moment when the storm clears and life finally gets easy. That illusion is the final weakness. Because when you expect relief, you secretly pace yourself, you hold back, you gamble on comfort returning. And when it doesn't, you break. Operators know the truth. The battlefield never ends. Pressure is not a phase, it is the environment. There is no finish line, only the next strike, the next weight, the next wall. Once you accept that, endurance stops being temporary and becomes permanent. You stop asking, when will this be over? And start saying, this is what I am built for. The infinite battlefield rewires your identity. You're no longer someone in pressure. You are someone made of pressure. Chaos is not the exception, it's the constant. Calm, silence, applause, or failure, none of it matters. The mission doesn't change. You don't pace yourself. You don't conserve. You operate as if the war is endless because in reality it is. Here's the shift. Fragile minds conserve energy for tomorrow. Operators unleash everything today, then adapt and rise again tomorrow. The cycle is infinite, but so is your capacity once you stop waiting for relief. At this stage, you're not surviving pressure. You're consuming it. Every challenge is fuel. Every obstacle is proof. Every storm is another chance to show that the iron will protocol is not just active, it's irreversible. And that's when the world realizes you can't be broken because you no longer believe in the concept of breaking. Part 6. Kill the exit door. Every weakness survives because it has an exit door. The mind whispers, if it gets too hard, you can stop. If it hurts too much, you can quit. If it feels impossible, you can back away. That whisper is the oxygen of fragility. As long as the exit door exists, you will always have one foot pointed toward retreat. The iron will protocol demands you burn it shut. No backups, no safety nets. No, if this doesn't work, I'll try something else. The operator never negotiates with pressure. They remove the option of escape. When the mind knows there is no exit, it stops bargaining. It adapts. It sharpens. It endures. Think of history's most relentless figures. The soldiers trapped with no way out, the survivors stranded with no backup, the fighters who burned their ships so retreat was impossible. Their strength wasn't magic. It was the absence of alternatives. The brain, cornered, stops entertaining weakness. It transforms. Here's the shift. Pressure is not something you handle until it's too much. Pressure is something you outlast because there is no other path. Every time your mind looks for the door, you close it and remind yourself, forward is the only direction. Survival is the only command. And once you live without an exit door, hesitation evaporates. Your moves become absolute. Your focus becomes lethal. Your output becomes unstoppable because there is no plan B, only execution. This is the final stage of the iron will protocol. You don't just resist breaking, you remove the very possibility of it. Subscribe Psychynest to become powerful.